Welcome to Uplink, where we explore the world of digital infrastructure, uncovering the technology fueling AI and cloud innovation with the leaders making it happen. I'm your host, Michael Reid. My guest today is a true serial entrepreneur, an actual legend in the industry, Raphael Maunier. He's currently co-founder and COO at OpsMill, but his story is really incredible. He's founded and exited many companies. He's considered the founding father of internet in France. He's a motorcycle racer and more recently a champion weightlifter. This podcast is longer than normal as the story was so fascinating, we didn't want to stop. Let's dive in. Well, welcome to another episode of Uplink. I'm joined with a really fascinating guest today, Raphael Maunier. He's described as an entrepreneur and investor, but if you have a look at him on LinkedIn, you'll be blown away. I'm just going to quickly sort of download what you've been doing, dude, because it's astounding. We're really lucky to have you here. You started sort of in the internet space in 1997, early days of internet in France. And so when I look at it, I ChatGPT'd you as well. It said heavy hitter in France and European internet backbone and a whole range of other pieces. But I'm just going to sort of bounce through these. Like you were Hotliner, which became Orange. You were then Honest, which was building the internet backbone. Fiat, building their backbone. Then you were Via Networks, then Neo Telecom, which built AS8218, which is then acquired by Zayo. So that became, I guess, the internet platform for Zayo here. You had Jaguar Network. Then you co-founded FranceIX, which is one of the largest internet exchanges on the planet, which is incredible. You then went and taught telecom, from what I can tell, at Paris Tech, Telecom Paris Tech. You were a CTO at another group. You co-founded the AS35280 Acorus Networks, which then merged with Volterra. Volterra that was then acquired by F5, the massive company we all know as F5, and I think you were doing a whole range of different security components and DDoS and so forth in there. You're a limited partner of a number of VC firms at the moment, so I assume you own lots of different companies. You're helping consult and maybe help them shape what they're building. You're a shareholder in Lux Networks, and now you're also co-founder, COO of OpsMill, which is a fascinating company, basically, from what I can see, automating all of the infrastructure, which is sort of an interesting connection between Megaport. You know, we look at infrastructure as code, and sort of our entire network is automated. So there's a connection there. And the other piece I'd love to unpack is some of your personal life as well. You're super fit. You just came third in a weightlifting championship in France.
And Europe as well.
And Europe, which means you got to go back next year and win.
Yeah.
And you also race motorbikes. You've got some motorbike companies that, or at least, so there is a lot to unpack here. But let's just start. Let me just rewind. It's 1997. You've just seen the internet take off. You're young, obviously. To have done all this at your age is impressive. But if we rewind back there, you literally have shaped certainly French and European internet backbones, the internet itself, and then you've had all these different companies along the way as well. Let's rewind to there. What on earth were you doing? How did you end up in this space? And then how did this ball get through all these things?
I think it was... what I said is sometimes you have luck and sometimes you build your luck. So, and I didn't grow up in France here. I grew up in a small French island.
Okay.
In Indian Ocean near Madagascar. It's called Réunion Island. So I grew up on an island for 20 years. And cool. I tried to do my bachelor degrees. And after 3 times I failed.
Okay.
So I tell you 1 time, 2 times, and 3 times. I said, okay, it's not for me. So I came to Paris just for 2 weeks of vacation. And usually when a man is doing something crazy and not what you should do, it's because there is a woman involved. So I came to Paris to my girlfriend at the time.
Sense, yeah.
She made it, and she was studying in Paris. So I said, okay, let's come for vacation, and I go back. And I called my dad, say, I don't come back. I will find a job, and I will stay here.
In Paris?
In Paris.
Perfect, yeah.
And I started to, a few weeks back, I started to chat with some people on IRC. So
yeah, the original chat.
Yeah, the original chat. So I was chatting with some guys, say, you should come to see us. I came say, oh, you want a job? So come. And this is when I end up like, the day after I got a job. Yes, I got my job at the platform of, Teleperformance Orange for the hotliner.
Okay.
And this is, and then I started to talk to people, and then I moved to the provider of the hotline. They asked me, oh, we know what you're doing, so please come to us. We want some people, some young people, to train them and to make them better. So I left, go to this one.
And this is networks at this time?
So this is the first time I started to know what is a real network.
Yeah.
So I was doing some hotline to help people to set up the PC, to be able to go to internet, but I was not able to build it. I was not able to know what is going on.
Yes.
So it was about 9 months. I said, I want to know more. And
sort of dial-up connection.
Yeah, it was dial-up, yeah. So I started to have some, the first internet platform I was seeing was after 9 months, so the provider of the hotline. And this is how I moved to this company. So it was fun.
I remember the only thing, 1996 is the first time I can remember internet. Like the very first time I remember actually experiencing internet. I was in, was I high school? Yeah, I think grade 8 in high school, So that's my very first memory of the internet, which is exactly when you've started messing around with this piece. It's pretty slow. So, okay, so you end up at Ornis, is it?
Yeah, it was a provider of the hotline. So they provided internet access, and I wanted to know how it's going to work for other people. And this is I started to ask questions, and they asked me, okay, Sam, you should come so we can show you, and then you will be able to know how to do it. So this is how I do it. I ended
resign what they were doing
and figure out how to bid for myself.
Okay.
And that's it. And the funny part is, I remember this is what I said to when I was, after a few years, I started to give some course to some engineers, and you have to take some risk. For example, I joined this company. They say, okay, you will do the hotline for us. And a week after I joined, they said, do you know how you can configure a Cisco? It's the first time I saw a Cisco in my life. Say, oh, because tomorrow we have a customer and this guy is sick, and you have to this is a router, this is a how to do it, and on Monday you go. So they give me on the Friday night the stuff I never heard what is a router or a Cisco.
Yeah.
So I didn't sleep for the weekend. How to understand how to be the dial-up connection on the Cisco equipment. And then I went to the guy as a customer. I was able to do it because I didn't sleep for 2 days. And this is why I say, okay, you have to take your chance, second risk, and say, yes, I can do it. And then this is how I started to first hands-on on the router at some point.
So cool. So many people end up in tech without sort of accidentally end up in tech. It's cool. It's a great place to learn. Curious minds, people who want to hustle. Yeah. You don't actually have to have a degree. It's probably a great example.
I have degree -1. So
negative, no degree. Okay, so then you've bounced through a bunch of these different companies. I mean, what was Neo Telecom?
Neo Telecom was at the early days internet. You have a big company called MFN. So MFN AboveNet. So this company, they went bankrupt, Chapter 11. They were one of the biggest tier 1 in the world.
Was that 2000?
Yeah, 2000. Yeah. So MFN AboveNet, it was a big company, and then became Zayo.
Okay.
So the company went bankrupt, Chapter 11.
Was Zayo from Europe first, or
no? That was the US. They built AboveNet MFN in the US, and they started to be the backbone in Europe.
Okay.
And then they started to be the fiber backbone in Paris.
Okay.
And the company went bankrupt. And my former boss at the end, they did MBO on the company.
Okay.
And then they started to hire people. And this is when Neo Telecom was built on
the top of the assets from
from the asset because of Chapter 11.
It's such a funny story.
And they bought it after 10 years ago. So they built bankrupt 2002, 2003, and 2015 they bought back the company.
Okay, Zayo bought it back.
Because Zayo was
came from Zayo. It came out of that, came back around. It came all the way back around. That's crazy. Well, it's such a common story for telco.
Yeah.
You know, this whole huge investment in capital to lay it out. Financing terms change. We have 2008 occurs, all these different pieces. It's hard to get funding. So many of them go under. They get recycled. They reappear again. It sort of keeps happening, doesn't it?
My study on this one is when you get too much money day one, you don't know how to spend your money wisely. Mm-hmm. And when you start your company from your own money and you start to build it, and when you get money after this, then you do it right.
Yeah.
This is why I've seen from people doing it the right way. But of course, you have also the ecosystem that may go down, then the company could go down. But at the end, I have seen that people who start with their own money and start to grow companies and then get money, this is how it's more successful.
Start from a bootstrap perspective and then scale. Okay, so then FranceIX, which is, Megaport actually has a lot of internet exchanges around the world as well, but we connect into all the different exchanges, including FranceIX. But for folks on listening, can you explain an IX? Because people get confused on what actually the internet exchange is. But if you had to articulate what it is.
So at a very high level, internet is a connection of multiple networks. So you build network A, B, C, D, and you have to connect to them. To go to A to C, you have to go through B and so on, because if A and C are not connected together, you have to use a third party to connect to all of this. And then the force of internet started to say, okay, it's too difficult to have everyone connected together directly. So let's build a platform where anyone can connect to this platform and connect it together. It's like you want to go to a place where you have only one road, and then it can be crowded at some point. If you open the road to multiple lanes at the same time, then it's more easy. So the internet platform, internet exchange is really a big
connector
room
networks
where people can go and chat together.
Yeah.
So it's like you open, you have a small room of 3 people can talk, and then you expand this room, and then you put a lot of people, and they all talk together. So it's the same way of building internet exchange, is to be able to have people connected together and exchange on a third party.
And it's such an important part of the health of the internet. The internet exchanges, because it enabled, and the AS number, which you actually put in a lot of those pieces, the autonomous system, which is the number that gets represented for an internet network, and then the internet exchanges later across those networks or connect them and sort of bring them together. So the internet exchanges became really, really important for the backbones of all global internets. Sort of bypasses and shortcuts all the connections, makes it faster, gives everyone a better experience. Lots of them were built sort of community platforms as opposed to sort of corporates trying to make money out of them, so to speak. It was more of a giving back, I suppose, to the country.
This one was a funny part. So why so Maurice Dean, working at Google at the time, was my friend, and how we decided to build, we had the idea of FranceIX is French people usually think that they are the best in the world, like every country, but they always say, but French between French.
Good wine too.
But French between French have the same idea. I'm better than the other guy. So we had the most important number of internet exchange in Paris. We had like 15.
Oh, wow.
And we have the less traffic in Europe.
Okay.
Because all the French people think they are the better than the other one.
Okay.
So
you need to consolidate.
Exactly.
Okay.
It was fragmented, and with Maurice, he was making fun of me. So I went to a peering forum, and they were making fun of the French. They say, yes, you have the French guy, you have always extra. I say, okay, so you have the money, I have the idea, let's build an exchange. Let's do it. And then we started to talk, and we had the idea to start to talk to people to federate. And at the same time, Equinix came into the picture because they bought IX Europe and started to expand in Europe.
What year was that roughly?
2007, 2008. Something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. So they bought IX Europe just a few, I think 2 years back. And then they started to say, we are going to expand to the exchange. And they wanted to explain how to do internet.
Yes.
And of course, as a French and Americans say, okay, you are not going to tell us how to do it. And then this is basically to consolidate and beat Equinix that I studied the exchange.
Okay, that's funny.
And that was funny. And we had a lot of fight for years. Like Equinix was basically the let's say man of interest at some point for them.
Yeah. Okay. You've got the crosshairs on you from Equinix.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And I'm happy that I think 15 years after, they are partner of FranceIX.
Yeah, it's much more
for
collaborative.
me, it was like,
I
was telling them for years, we don't need only one platform.
Yeah,
we need two platforms, two big platforms in Paris.
Yes.
Otherwise, once one of them goes down,
you need
then you still have one backup
totally.
at some point.
Yeah.
Or it's not backup, it's active at some point. And it's I think they are the wrong people at the time. And then they had the new management a few years back, more agile, more advanced, and so on. And I see, honestly, they are doing it right now on everywhere in the world, and I really love the way they are going the company. But yeah, so now France and Paris is more stable, and two platforms is, I think, for me, the best way to have a reliable internet. I know is that everything is going to be AI and internet and so on. You need to be able to have 100% uptime.
Yeah, 100%. It's funny, our one of our board members is Jay Adelson. He's the original founder of Equinix. Yes, he sits on our board. He's got some amazing stories from way back in the early days when they first. I mean, his story was that I think it was the San Jose Internet Exchange. It was the original sort of.
Yeah, PEX.
Yeah.
I was advisor of PEX.
Oh, really?
Just before they got acquired by Equinix, when it was Switch and Data.
Fascinating. Well, that was Jay, I guess. That would.
No, Jay was not there. I arrived. I think he left like a few weeks or months just before I started.
2001, maybe.
Yeah, but no, because he was still an advisor of Equinix.
Okay.
But then I think they asked me to join 2006 or 7. Part of the.
But this is crazy fast. Like you landed with no idea what you're doing in 1997, 2000, and whatever. You're already a key part of what is the most transformative movement in the history of humanity, really. Like if you think internet has changed our lives in every way, shape, and form, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was fun. It was some fun.
Yeah, and then you end up building. So France IX was trying to piece this together, 2009. And continues to this day. Do you have any involvement anymore, or is that?
So I still speak to them. They asked me a few years back to go back into the board. I said no.
You're busy.
It's not me now.
You're busy lifting weights.
At the end, so I had to let it go because people in France were saying this is Raphael Exchange.
Ah, yeah, okay.
And for the good of the exchange, I had to leave.
Yes.
And I have to not come back anyway. So they asked me many times when they have the new board member. Raphael, can you apply to be a board member? I say, no, I don't. I can help or talk to you and so on.
You can support externally.
Yeah, but I cannot be part of it anymore because it's gone. It's I think 10 times bigger when I left. So it doesn't make any sense for me to come back.
It's on its way. All right, so Acorus Networks, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
So what is that? You founded that to do what?
Okay, so that's a new funny story. So when I was building the Neo Telecom backbone, I started to do DDoS mitigation.
Yes.
Because DDoS started to grow. And the only platform stable enough was the Arbor networks. It's a piece of hardware that's very expensive, got a lot of money and so on.
Which one?
Arbor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a big platform and it costs like 1 or 2 million.
Like a DDoS mitigator.
Yeah, DDoS mitigator. Yeah. It's a platform.
What would it scrub?
Yeah, scrub like multi-terabit of traffic. But it was expensive, so I was paying like millions just to maintain.
Yeah.
And then I said, okay, I see how it works, so I'm pretty sure we can build a hard piece of hardware with some SSDs, with some intelligence and automation.
So you built a DDoS scrubber.
Yeah, so I started to build
because it was too expensive to buy from these
guys. So I said, okay, let's build something so we can beat them, and the market is so big. Even if I get 10% or even 5% of the market, it's a lot of money. Yes. So we started to build this, and we spent about 2 years.
So Acorus Networks was actually a network as well as DDoS?
It was a platform, not a network. But how I end up building a network is when I started to go to see my former customers at Neo Telecoms, do you want to buy this hardware? They said, yes, we want, but we don't want to manage it.
Yeah.
We don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
So
it's funny, it's a lot how Megaport has come along. Yeah.
So we know you can build network. So build the cloud, put your hardware in it, and we pay you. And this is basically my customer. They asked me to shift from an hardware company to a SaaS company.
Interesting.
So, and I shift with...
So it's your hardware, but you weren't running it in like an AWS. You'd build the hardware.
We build hardware, we do some
SaaS
BCB. We have our own PCB. We build our own stuff.
Wow.
We do some R&D on the way to have the flow of air in the...
Interesting.
Yeah, it was so. We built 2 years to build the first,
hardware. You're actually building hardware?
Yeah, we built for 2 years. Okay. It was fun. And, but at the end, we ended up to stop building hardware, buying some Dell servers, and just
run
do
the software
automation
on top of
and
that,
just
and
the
then
software
it's perfect.
and with some ASICs, so some cards to do the mitigation.
Yes.
And we shift the company in 3 months from hardware supplier to a SaaS company.
Awesome.
Because the customer was pushing. Because
of course,
the demand was not that.
The hardware.
The
And the hardware is fast. They can probably keep up with what you need, and the software becomes the key for it.
Yeah. So as I said, only stupid
3 months pivot.
Stupid people not change their mind. We had to change in 3 months. Otherwise, the company was dying.
Amazing.
So it was fun.
And so then merged with Volterra. Is that what happened? And then you stayed on as
so
CTO?
Volterra was built by a friend of mine, Ankur Singla. So he built Contrail, the first automation SDN got acquired by Juniper Networks.
Oh, wow.
And a few years back, before we started Acorus, he tried to hire me to run the operation in Europe for Juniper Contrail.
Oh,
I said no.
You're busy.
And then after I started Acorus, he came to me and say, I'm building this edge network, but I don't know how to do it. I know how to build software. You know how to build network. Can you provide us capacity around the globe? And I said no again.
Yeah.
And then he said, I cannot hire you. I cannot have you as a supplier. So why don't we merge a company and we build the future of the network edge? And this is how we merged the two companies, Acorus and Volterra.
So the Acorus was all the DDoS. Volterra was what? Edge?
The edge software.
SD-WAN?
Yes, kind of, yeah.
Okay. And then F5
acquired us.
And what did they turn that into?
So it's a new cloud edge of... so everything that run on the cloud for F5 grew and put it through this network now. Everything was merged. All network operation was merged into this network.
So this is an SD-WAN play from SD-WAN,
edge, and application delivery.
Edge,
yes.
WAF, so all these different...
Yeah, exactly.
Which sort of crosses into the Cloudflare Fastly space?
Yeah, exactly.
Or...
I think it's less... Yeah, so and then after we acquired kind of Cloudflare company as well, more like Akamai company, so a small one. And then now it starts to be a competitor of Cloudflare and Akamai. Yeah, sure.
And so you stayed there for a bit?
Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah.
Rest and West.
I was going to say, yeah. 2 years is good. I worked at Cisco and did a lot of acquisitions. It was always 3 years. So you negotiated well. We would always say you never want to be a key when you get acquired because you get stuck.
Exactly.
And so now it looks like you've got a lot of different... you're a limited partner of a bunch of different VC firms.
Correct.
So I assume you're investing in sort of angel and startups.
Yeah, I did some angel investments. Some went good. Some went just I got out without nothing. But that's just part of the game. The fact that you
get some that are good is the good part.
So because you always learn. You never fail. You always learn from what you have done. And then I started to do this. And
is it across the board or in the network space that you know?
Some are in the network space. Yeah. 2 of them were in the US, and the other one are mostly...
And the US or France or...
So, mixed. It's mixed. I did direct investment in the US company. I did some in some French company as well.
Yes.
And then I started to say, okay, I cannot manage all of this. So let's go to a VC and then put money in the VC and they manage it for us.
Lux Networks.
Yeah, Lux Network was a friend of mine was at Neo Telecom was a company we acquired, a small company we acquired.
Yeah.
And after he got acquired, so he left, started his own company, Lux Network.
Okay.
And when I left and I got my money from the acquisition of F5, then say, okay, let's. He want to grow the company. And the company was doing well, but needed some help at some point. And I think we, when we joined the company, it was doing okay. I think we multiplied by 3 what it's doing, and now really profitable.
Yeah, perfect.
And and it's really fun. And
so now this is to an extent, it's your way of sort of giving back and connecting and keeping yourself entertained. Your story though is like linked with lots of friendships and
most of it.
Yeah,
all of it. Like, for example, the Neo Telecoms, I was fighting a lot with the co-founder of Neo Telecom, that was the CTO at the time, because I think I was better than him, doing way better job and so on. And say, And I left the company and say, yeah, I don't want to do to work with them anymore, etc. And when I started my other company, because I also own another company which I have 20 people working on it. I have someone running. It's not on this one, but I have people working for it for 12 years now. It's
stealth mode, or just you didn't put it on LinkedIn?
No, it's on it, but it's Zoyo. It's my first company.
Yes,
but this company is now it's running by itself. I have a wonderful team running it. I have Karine. I heard her, and now she runs the company for me. She's the CEO of the company now. And the way I give to people, the advantage or the benefit I give to people was coming from what I learned from Didier, the former guy I was fighting a lot. And I realized, like, after 4 or 5 years fighting with him, leaving the company, that the mentorship he did for me was exactly what I'm shaping my company now and the way I work. So basically, I found myself fighting with the mentor I realized was my mentor a few years after. That was
cool.
Fun.
So the battle he became the coach over time, and then
I invested in the VC firm. He launched a VC firm. I was the first one to invest.
There you go. That's what.
So it's all about friendship and relationship.
So then I guess that brings us all the way to OpsMill.
Yeah. So OpsMill was
2023.
Yeah.
So
I didn't want to work. Basically, my at this time I just wanted to have fun and to invest.
Yeah.
That's it. And Damien came to me and said, I have this idea of a product and so on. What do you think about it?
So a company didn't exist?
No, didn't exist.
It was
came to me with the idea and said, okay, let's talk about it. We talk, he came back with a prototype and so on. And at the end said, you need to find a co-founder, otherwise I cannot vest your company at some point. And he came back, say, after a few months, didn't find any co-founder that want to leave his job and come and do this, and
take the risk.
And say, okay, so let's do it. Let's I come with you, build the company.
Okay.
And let's see where it goes. And I'm going to raise money for the company. So we set up the company, and a few weeks after we raised 6 million. Plus some debt, about 8 million total.
Wow!
On the
idea,
on the seed, on the idea and some kind of prototype.
Little prototype
we had, and so it's been a long time now. And after
2023, not that long.
Yeah, for me it's long. For me it's too long. So and then we started to grow, and now I started to work on the Series A. Like late December last year. And then I realized, I'm going to do Series A, and it's going to grow again. And I know the automation is basically key, because I look at company like you guys who are doing it. I was saying this to a CTO of Verizon 4 years back.
Yeah.
I say, I don't understand why a company like Megaport exists.
Yeah. Because
you are failing doing it yourself.
Correct. Yeah, they just can't do it.
Exactly. So you can't do it, then you have the network, you have everything, you have the bandwidth, you have the fiber, you have everything, you have the people, but you are not smart enough. So smarter people are building company like Megaport because you are failing doing it. The guy was shocked. It's at the end, he came back at the dinner and say, I think about what you said. You're totally right. You are just failing doing it, and we let better people doing it. So and then I say, why you don't acquire them?
Yeah.
Well, this is what I said to them. So it was really fun. So for me, automation, it's part of when you have to think about starting something, you need to think about how you are going to automate and how you are going to make it like almost in autopilot mode.
Yeah.
That you have to have people that are, for me, like when you think about AI and automation, is how to make the people who manage it smarter to use it and not to replace them.
Yeah.
So automation is not about replacing people. It's to make their job under steroid at some point.
They should be focusing on the things that matter versus all the admin
exactly.
And all the things that introduce risk, by the way.
Yeah.
When it's not automated, humans make mistakes. Code can make mistakes, but it's It's funny you say that. I've been in the role 2 years. Companies have been around for 11 years, Megaport. 11 years. And really no one else has even gotten close to doing what we're doing. It goes back to the sort of core principle that the company was founded on is everything is automated. Yeah. You know that you can't actually log into Megaport's network and make a change. It's not possible.
No, it's the same. It was the same at Acorus. When we started Acorus.
Oh, you automated.
We are not. So I'm not I can't code anything. If I code something, I use ChatGPT.
Yeah, okay.
Because I'm really bad at. I can do it, but I will take 2 days,
Well, yeah.
and ChatGPT will do it in 2 hours,
seconds,
2 minutes.
Yeah.
I always think that I need to hire people smarter than me, and I started to hire people who know how to start to do automation, and said, okay, I built this network. It's kind of automated with some script, but it's not automated the way I want. So then you have to do the automation that we think that will be the next gen for network. And after 3 years, they removed my SSH access. I was not able to connect to anything. And everything that was, when you have an incident, you have to connect and do some change.
Yes.
But after 3 hours, if you don't validate your change, it will be removed by automation. We will come back to the state.
Overrides it.
Because you can, at some point, you can't do it, because if it's like everything is down, you have to go and to fix it quickly. Because automation, and that was one of the reasons of OpsMill. Automation at some point becomes so big and so monolithic at some point that when you want to do a change, I have seen on many networks, a change can take 3 hours to push to everything.
Yes.
But when it's down, you need to do it in seconds.
Yeah, immediately.
And that was basically why OpsMill was founded. You can do island of automation. You can do, I want to do this. You can change only one thing everywhere.
Test this without rolling to the whole thing. So when you run, you can, it's sort of like you scale the code update so that if it breaks it, a bit like what we saw with CrowdStrike. They probably should have had this slow piece as opposed to one everywhere and then pushed out. So
the issue was automation. Issue with automation is people, there is no structure in a way where if you look the way people do, you have IETF, you have IX forum and so on, but automation, you had nothing. So there's a new network automation started from 2 guys who want to have people to come together to find a way to do automation at a community level. So people think about the same way to build automation.
Okay.
And that was not the case with automation. Everybody have done the same on the side and so on.
Yes.
And nothing was structured. And this is basically the issue where I've seen people came to me when we were starting to build OpsMill, say, when we want to do a change, every time we have to be sure that we have 4 hours or 6 hours ahead of the change, because we cannot do it less.
Yes, yeah.
Say, what's the point to have automation if we have to wait 6 hours to have your change?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons of OpsMill. And when I realized I'm going to Series A and so on, I said, I know how to fix the problem. I know we were able to raise money and so on. And now it's about how to scale the company. So we put the company on the rail to scale. And then I said, okay, it's not my job, it's not my mindset to do it anymore. I just want to invest and to find new ideas. Yeah. And then I said, okay, let's do Series A. And now it's my time to step back and stay investor for the company and replace me.
So you're at Series A now, or you've raised?
It's working.
You're in the process of
progress.
Series A, and then you'll take a backward step, stay as an investor, help the company scale and grow.
On the side, yes.
And is it a French-based company?
French-based company, yes.
So
but
cool.
The people are
and global.
Global. Yeah, there is no office anywhere, and people are mostly, I think, 40% are US based and 60% Europe. Okay. And maybe 25% French people. Yeah. But the rest is
very
global.
Cool. Yeah. We've seen some awesome coders and developers for networks come out of France, actually. Yeah. We use a platform internally that is purely French-based company. In fact, in my previous life at Cisco, we acquired a French company, which is an IoT cybersecurity company called Centrio, which is based in Lyon. Sure, that was really cool. And that team was all the engineers, all the developers were in Lyon.
I said the French people are the best, you know that.
They're the best, of course. Best wine, best food. Okay, cool. So, dude, you're doing everything. And then you also got some motorcycle racing going on as well. Now you're weightlifting and it's part of. You've been weightlifting for 2 years, and now you're third in the Europe. Yeah, that's crazy.
But at the end, I was doing a lot of sport when I was young, and when you walk crazy like this, you don't you don't really work on yourself.
No.
You work for
the
your company,
companies, of course.
and you work for your family,
Yeah.
and so on. So the reason I started to live on the plane and everything was because I had to make more money at some point because my son is Asperger autistic,
Okay.
and then
Needs some
in
support.
France you have no support.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
The
systems are not there to support it.
It's not built for that.
And schooling.
No,
makes
schooling
it,
is really bad. They are
handle-
asking to leave school.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they
they just won't support
So
them,
I had
yeah.
to make a way to make more money at some point.
Yeah.
And the more money is working in France, it's not possible. So you can get it, but the way you can do it in the US, the scale is different. And then said, okay, two way. I move to the US or I build a company and make more money.
Yeah.
So I decided...
you like France?
Yeah, I love France. I love the way people think, people work. And my ex-wife didn't want to move to the US anyway.
So there you
so
go.
the way is stayed working it,
here.
and then
But what you built were companies were ultimately acquired by US companies anyway.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's yeah. At some
so
point,
you won.
Yeah. So that was part of the game, and when you do that, I was starting to do like 5 more kilos, until I reached like 110 kilos.
Yeah.
And it was
which is a lot.
which is a lot of weight for my weight. And then I started to do some weightlifting just because my coach was a world champion at the end, and started to introduce to this one. And I was really bad at it.
Oh, you got a coach to get you fit. He's a weightlifter.
She is.
She? Sorry, I pardon me. Yeah, so she's got you weightlifting.
Yeah, because I was really bad at it because it's too movement and it's too much techniques and I don't like when I can't do something. So I was starting to invest myself into it and starting to be good at it and said, okay, then you should go to do some competition. Starting it, and then I wanted to beat the other guy.
Of course,
this
is your nature.
Yeah, that's basically how I ended up doing weightlifting.
That's so cool. And so where were you? You just came from this.
I just arrived from Albania.
Albania from just now.
Yeah.
From the weightlifting session.
Yes, correct.
And you came third, which means there's room for improvement.
The goal, of course, the goal is to be first.
Are you going to go again next year?
Yes, next year I'm going to
win.
Yeah, of course. That's part of the game. The goal is to win.
That's so cool. And the motorcycle racing, that's cool as well. So you into cars as well, or just bikes?
No, just bikes. So I was doing just for fun,
just
racing
crazy
on tracks.
Adrenaline.
Yeah. And also when you're on a bike, you need to be focused.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't think about anything else. And you take a lot of adrenaline, and you like it. Your brain just explodes of everything.
Oh, yeah.
And when I started to do it, 2010, I said, this is the only way I can't think of anything else but racing.
It's your meditation
driving.
Almost. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
And then the company grew, raising money, not allowed to do it by the VCs anymore because you can kill yourself at some point. You cannot do any dangerous sports.
Oh, really?
So I had
Is that
to
what
do
they
it.
were saying?
It was saying in my contract. Yeah, my contract.
Is that right?
Yeah, my contract was you should not do that. So I had to stop at some point.
That's
funny. I stopped, and then a French team.
Is this normal to put in contracts? It's so funny.
For example, we are not allowed to travel in the same plane with my co-founder.
Okay, in case of.
Yes, in case. So this was in contract. If we go to a meeting, we have to take 2 different planes.
Fascinating. Yeah, because they're so heavily invested in the two of you. Yeah.
So that was
and no racing motorbikes.
No racing motorbikes. So I stopped basically. And a French team, GMT94, was the world champion of endurance. So it's kind of when you 24 hours racing,
like a Le Mans.
Correctly. So they won 3 times and so on.
Motorcycle.
Yes, motorcycle
for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Where is that? That's not Isle of Man. No, it's different.
There's Le Mans. There is in the US. There is a Suzuka in Japan.
Motorcycle.
Yeah, 24 hours.
For 24 hours.
Yeah. Ooh. There's 3 pilots and they change every hour. Okay. Yeah. So they started to. I was introduced to them, and I was seeing the guy on TV for 10 years, 15 years. I was a fan and say, let's go and meet us. And then I started to say, okay, I started to put my own money to be a team member, to invest into help them, because a motorcycle is just about the fun and all about the sponsors like me. So I started to be like a very small sponsor, and now I'm the second biggest one of the team.
That's cool.
And yeah. And
so you follow the team around. You don't race in it.
I don't race in it. So, yeah, I do some racing track day.
Yeah, you just go out.
That's it. But I don't race.
You just don't tell the VCs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
That's so cool. Okay, so that's what gets you sort of downtime, disconnected. You seem to have got the life balance sorted, but I mean, there's been so much crazy hustle behind it. So, what would you recommend for people coming in that people would look at you and think you're the most like a insane serial entrepreneur? You've founded all these different companies, been super successful in so many different spaces. Do you recommend it for most people or anyone? You have to be cut from a certain cloth. Like, you're obviously incredibly driven and hungry, and it's like that is either in you or it's not. Like, it's not something you can sort of inspire in yourself.
So you have to be able to take some risk, and you have to have a purpose.
Yeah.
Money is not, for me, it's not a purpose. Purpose is really about what do you want to serve or do you want to have fun. For me, starting my first company, so Zoriol, is still working on.
Yeah.
It's a small company. We're earning 20 million per year, 10 people. It's working great.
20 million a year with 10 people is not bad.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's 2 million per head.
Yeah. So it's working great. The company is growing. And
what does that company do, by the way?
Mostly network consulting, network.
More like a consulting
and a supplier as well. So
okay.
Because when I started to do, because when I left the company, I started to do consulting in the US and in Singapore. I was doing network consulting for people.
Come and design our network. Come and build.
I was doing it by myself. I was alone.
Yeah.
And people are starting to ask me, we don't want to buy the hardware because I don't want you to negotiate with Juniper, do this. And I started to, let's buy and sell it. Yeah. We want a package.
So you would consult.
Yeah.
And then instead of then handing the consulting to someone else to deploy, then when the deploy said the consulting was wrong, and then this pointing finger, they just own the whole thing, design it, procure it, manage it.
Correct.
So it's a managed services and design.
So the manage came after. Basically, I started where we came to installation, design, procurement, installation.
The whole thing.
And people were running it. And after a few years, automation came into the picture.
Didn't you have 10 people?
Yeah.
Huh.
But you always have to hire the best people and always better than you. Every time I want to hire someone, you need to be better than me, or it will become better. Yeah. That for me, that's the key to have a successful company.
But that's, I guess, the other thing that's fascinating about you. You've been able to manage lots of companies at the same time, from what I can see.
Yeah, the key was to hire the best
wicked
CEO
talent
for the company, or to have the best partner. For example, with Acorus, Ben was my partner for years, and it was everything I was not able to do.
Yeah, but you could see that.
Yeah. So at the end, it's the way.
So you didn't have this ego where you're like, I'm going to do the whole thing. I'm going to be everything. You can.
You have to have some ego, of course. You have to think that you can do better than the other guy.
Of course.
That's the way.
Otherwise, you wouldn't start.
Yeah,
you wouldn't take the risk.
You need. So ego is not bad when it's well managed.
Yes. That's your belief.
Yes.
In effect.
But that's the way I think. And when you see that you have to step back, for me, for example, I was doing network management for 20 years. And when your team, a 25 years old guy, say, I need to remove you as SSH access. If you have too much ego, then you say no, and then you blew up things.
You're sloping, yeah.
For me, it's like, okay,
so
this is the way of life. So it's a Peter syndrome. You come to a way that you are reach your maximum level at some point.
Yeah. What is this? The Peter principle.
Yeah, principle, yeah.
You meet your level of incompetence.
Exactly. This is basically where I am today. And I want to reach this every day.
So what do you want to keep doing? What's next? Do you just keep investing, keep inspiring?
I'm doing it. So I also bought last year because... So on my personal life, I buy some statues. I buy some
cool.
comic stuff and so on. So I was buying to a company, and this company sent a notice that they're going bankrupt.
You're buying a statue from a company.
Yeah. They went
for
bankrupt.
Artwork.
Yeah, exactly.
They tell you they're going bankrupt.
And then I went to the court and say, okay, I want to buy because I want it back.
I want my statue.
Yeah, so let's buy the company, save the company, build my statue, and make it profitable. This is how I ended up buying a company that was bankrupt.
And so where's the statue company?
So the company is in France.
It's in France.
Yes, and people, so we have artists in South America, in France, and so on. So there is a
statue is like a, what?
Yeah, but
Out of what? What
resin.
material?
It's resin. So we built it. We built all of them
What's the
in
company?
China.
We got to help you sell.
So it's Onere Creation. ONERE Creation.
ONERE Creation.
Creations.
And you design?
So yes, we design.
And the resin? How big are these things?
Oh, some are like this.
Okay.
And some are like life size.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really fun.
That's so cool.
And we
and you're scaling this globally.
Yeah. So the goal is we started to sell now we started to sell in Asia, in US, and in Europe as well.
What else?
So I think now for me it's when I'm going to step back from OpsMill, I want to focus on the more important thing is I got divorced. Of course, when you work too much, it's really hard to maintain. So my kids are for me really important.
How old are your kids?
21 for my son,
Awesome.
and my daughter, she's 17.
So she'll be finishing high school soon?
So she was supposed to finish, but I wanted her to leave the house when she was 16, 15. She went to the US for 1 year.
Oh, exchange student.
Not exchange, like go to school in the US.
Oh, wow, okay.
She went to a family, host family, and she would go to school like a normal.
Oh, fantastic.
And then she...
Great experience.
Yeah, she came back. She is fluent in English now. And now she's going to... I said, if people say she lose 1 year going to US, I said, no, she got a lot of experience. She gains like 10 years on the other people.
Incredible.
So experience. So she's going to be graduate next year at some point.
Okay.
And focusing with her, traveling with my girlfriend, trying to have some fun as well. So we try to travel at least once a month. We take the plane. We look on the Monday where we go this weekend. Friday we take a plane, we go somewhere, we come back. So that's part of what I want to do.
Yeah.
And of course, I want to help people doing things.
Yeah. Well, that's all these investments that you've got.
Yes, investments. But helping also, some people ask me to do to work for them. I say, no, I can do some consulting that make me happy to help you like on a few days to do this. For me, it's more refreshing to be able to give your experience to someone on 3, 5, 6 days.
Yeah.
Instead of, I don't want to be involved into like constantly, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years consulting stuff. I want to help on the short term, make them happy, and for me see that the impact I can do in a few days, because I don't like consulting company who do it consulting for years. You pay like a guy for 10 years. It's more money that you pay to consulting to do your stuff. So this is what I'm doing. It's fresh for the mind. It's refreshing. It's new project every time, and you see impact. You see the impact what you are doing. When you do consulting on a project for 2 years, you have no impact. When you impact that people do change the week after, this is how I find myself happy.
Very cool. Very cool, man. Well, you seem to have landed all these different balances and components. It's cool that your kids are doing some interesting stuff. New girlfriend, lots of fun there.
Yeah.
Crazy companies that you're coming out with. Do you think you'll support some more startups to come out of the mix? I mean, the one thing I find fascinating, it's very, very few people that can take companies from 0 to 1. There's people that can scale companies after they've got some platform.
That's not my job. That's not my DNA. 1 to 2 is not my job.
1 to 2 is, but 0 to 1 is so difficult. It's like such a rare percentage of the population, like tiny percentage of the population even get close. You've done it multiple times. Obviously, the DNA inside you is built that way. You've also got some friendships that have allowed you to be successful and repeat this, and also raise capital is really key.
Yeah.
So obviously, the good thing about, one thing I saw with a lot of the founders that we acquired into Cisco when I was there, they came up with an idea and Sequoia would go and back them in 5 seconds with a piece of napkin. You know, this is my new idea. You've sort of done it once and it makes it easier to raise again and again, but it still doesn't mean you're going to be successful by raising again and again. So to do that over and over is like really, really special. Our founder actually, Bevan, he's built something like, he IPO'd 5 different companies on the Australian Stock Exchange. Still, I think has the record for that, and sort of had this incredible story of sort of founding something to solve a problem and then just continuing to solve the next problem, the next problem, the next problem.
If you, what can you solve?
Yeah.
For you or for the community at some point? That was the key of Franchise being successful, because we fixed something for the community.
Find a problem, solve it, do it in a better way, believe you can do it in a better way. And the same with Acorus, which was there's a better way to actually do DDoS, and we can build that out. Cool, man. Well, Geez, I really appreciate the chat. We've been grilling you for a while. Anything you wanted to share or add to the discussion?
So the way now I'm working with Megaport is friendship. I know one of your sales team in France for my second company, like in 1999.
Manuel Noakes. Yeah.
So I know them. So this is where
1999. You know those guys. Yeah.
So we are here now, and
it's cool.
Just because I met someone 26 years ago.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, we appreciate it. Those guys are killing it for us. I mean, they're kind
and
of
my company, my other company, we are a Megaport partner.
Which one?
Zoyo.
Oh,
we buy and sell to customers.
Oh, wow. Course, of course. Yeah,
we sell them
through the consultancy piece. Sure. And then managed services.
Yeah, we gave you a few of our customers because we thought the platform was the best for our customers, and they're really happy about it. So someone I met like 26 years ago, and we're on the podcast today, and I'm a customer as well.
Yeah, and you're a customer, and also the automation piece. I mean, the one thing. If you look at the DNA of Megaport, it's actually hard to find this DNA across a lot of telco providers, and that's why you mentioned it before. There's so many companies that should be able to do what Megaport does, but they just can't. They can't get out of their own way. There's too many networks. There's no culture of innovation. One of the things, and if you look at Cam and Mitch, who they were employee 1 and 2 in Megaport, still in the company, and they are just built for automation of network. And if you look at who we're hiring, which is really funny. They always say the hardest thing to hire is a Megaport person because they're a network engineer who codes. And you have to... Coders don't understand networking.
Yeah.
Networkers are typically not coders. And you have this sort of scenario where you need a bit of both. Actually, there was one thing I was going to ask you. That changes the game with AI. That's one thing I didn't mention before when you were sort of going down that path. This ability to code has changed.
Yeah.
Like coding is changing every day. It's just getting so much easier. Like you just said, why you can code, but why would you when you can just leverage ChatGPT to punch this thing out, or whichever of the platforms? How do you see companies right now? We've seen companies with like 1 or 2 people become unicorns. You know what I mean? And so I think we're going to keep seeing it. Does it change your perspective on?
So I've seen companies trying to replace everyone by AI. So.
Has that worked?
No, I think one of the company they went back. They lost 20 million doing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they start to replace everyone. They will say, the cost saving is 10 million per year, but they lost 20 million of contract. So the point is, the crazy part is that's the same way when you had the typewriter started to
let's
replace people, etc. Yeah. No, at the end, you have to work. So using new tools will help you to work on steroid.
Yes, faster, way faster.
Yes. But don't go into the opposite way of doing innovation by using everything to replace everything. Yes. You have to be able to use it wisely, correctly, and train your people to embrace it.
Yes.
And not putting people against each
one
other.
Or the other.
It doesn't make any sense. So embrace the new technology, mastering it with the right people, and work to have your team. Don't build a team of rockstar in your company. Build a team who's going to help your company to be all rockstars at some point.
Yeah.
But this is why I've seen errors people are doing is trying to have like 1 or 2 people in the company like are unique people, and the rest have to follow
Everyone
this.
else is just follows.
That's not the way.
Work.
So AI for me is going to be we will not be able to work without AI.
Yeah.
So you have to start now to know how to use it, how to understand it, and fix the issues that you have seen into your AI platform or
that's the truth,
a strategy at some point. And so when you were talking about company like big telcos and so on, they are far, far away. So they will do the same way they are doing for years. They are doing innovation by acquisition.
Yes.
So then, for me, start your company with AI, build stuff that's easy to understand, to manage, to fix stuff, and you will be acquired. That will be when you were talking about someone want to go into the journey. Today, AI, but easy to use, manage, and not only by AI itself, but human can use it and understand it. This is for me the way to start a company, fix something, and big telcos, if you want the telco space, they will acquire you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in our business, we're actually growing. We're hiring. We're not trying to remove humans with AI. What we're trying to do is significantly increase the speed at which we develop and produce products. We see it very much as a multiplier.
Yeah.
And like any multiplier, if you're an average person, if you multiply that, you don't get a great outcome. If you're a really good operator and the way you think and you actually execute and you can put a 10x behind that, it's significantly higher than a 10x on someone that's actually pretty average.
Yeah,
and
that's exactly the way to do it.
Yeah, yeah. And what is key for us, particularly in our space, we've been lucky that the telco industry isn't very fast at innovating, so they haven't really caught us up. But that's our opportunity to just accelerate even faster and harder. And the only thing we focus on is more and more products, features, and differentiation. So even if someone finally does get their act into gear to try and catch up to us, it's so hard because we're so many steps ahead from an automation standpoint and all the different products and features that we've added to the platform. So you could probably catch us to here, but then by then we've already caught up. We've already pushed forward. The other piece is we're constantly trying to add new TAM, like addressable market, by adding in different products, features, and whatever it may be. So, we see the same. It's exciting.
And the funny part is, when you were speaking 2 times, I was listening for the past 2 minutes, you say product and features, product first, features after. That's the way of building a company. Think about your product, feature will come after.
Yeah, I agree. Well,
and don't do features and product after. It doesn't make that's the way of geeks are doing.
Yes.
And a lot of good product are better than more advanced features product because you cannot use it.
Of course.
So product first, feature after.
Yeah, and on that product piece, you can't have an amazing go-to-market team and win with a bad product. Like, you can sell a little bit, but you can't over time. So in tech, the number one priority is to get that product super differentiated, solving a customer problem, not coming 12th in the race. It has to be in the 1 or 2 and all these different components, and constantly innovated. And so that's like, we're passionate about that. We're super lucky that we're in this. Megaport actually slowed its innovation for a period of time before I jumped into the role. And we were lucky that we didn't get dominated or taken over by some SaaS-style business because our competitors are in that telco space. But that doesn't mean you can just stop. You've got to just go harder and harder. So if you had a look at the product portfolio online that the guys have got punching out, it's wild and blow your head in comparison to where we were. So it's like it's
not a network company anymore. It's a product company.
Yeah, correct.
That's how you sell the product, the company. It's not, we are not a to B company.
Yeah,
we are a product company.
And what's funny is, and the guys upstairs, we sort of look at it as a Lego block. Like, each product becomes a Lego piece.
Yeah.
And in itself is powerful and interesting and differentiated and does solve this particular problem. But where it gets really interesting is when those solution architects work for a customer, and probably like your company that's designing, you stitch all these Lego blocks together and you create a Hogwarts castle. And you're like, wow, that is like really cool. And so some of the crazy ideas that companies are solving problems with all these pieces is really interesting. And as you get through that, you realize you're missing pieces. You're missing like firewall functionality, or you're missing DDoS platforms inside it, or you're missing load balancing functions, or you're missing. Each one of these things becomes the next product that solves the problem and adds the Lego block to sort of create the next castle. So that's it's cool, man. Yeah, it's lots of fun.
Yeah,
it's a fun place. I really appreciate you jumping on. It's unbelievable what you've built. I think you are a legend in the industry. So, I mean, ChatGPT calls you a heavy hitter. I thought that was really funny when ChatGPT is calling you this. So we appreciate you coming on, and hopefully this is for folks listening, hopefully this is a really interesting insight into, one of the most phenomenal serial entrepreneurs who literally built the internet and all those platforms across France, and that's spread across Europe, and then now owned by US companies and so forth, different acquisitions. Pleasure, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cheers.